Okay, hold up. Before you comment, before you dislike the video, I'm not clickbaiting you. I am not implying that Rocksteady is going to make Batman Arkham 5. I'm not saying that after Suicide Squad, they're going to go back and make another Arkham game. I do think it's possible that another studio could pick up the Arkham title, but I do not think it's Rocksteady. I do think they really are done after Suicide Squad. Who knows? Maybe they'll do Suicide Squad 2, maybe they'll do Justice League, maybe they'll do Superman. It doesn't really matter. The question is, are they done completely with playable Batman content? Will there be playable content in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League that can be played through as Batman? I think that there is actually a very good chance that that will be the case. First of all, this is assuming that there will be a return from Bruce Wayne in the game, who allegedly faked his death in Arkham Knight. We think he faked it. We're pretty sure he faked it. There's pretty much no other explanation. But this is assuming that he will return in the game, and it could be interesting. Maybe this is why Gotham Knights does not take place in the Arkham universe. If they want Bruce Wayne to return in their game, and Rocksteady wants Batman to return in their game, then that could create a little bit of a conflict, and that could create a plot hole or a rift in the timeline. So maybe that's why Gotham Knights is not planning on taking place in the Arkham universe. Maybe Batman has a super pivotal role that they just weren't able to share with Rocksteady. But that's besides the point. One thing that every single Arkham game has in their DLC is alternate playable character. In both Arkham City and Arkham Knight, there was story DLC that allowed you to play as alternate characters, and in Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum, they still let you play as Deathstroke and Joker, respectively. So it is a trademark of Rocksteady in their games to allow you to play as alternate characters. And I've actually done videos in the past discussing whether or not I think it's likely that we'll get to play as characters like Superman or the Flash, and I don't necessarily think it is. Maybe in challenge maps, maybe there will be some playable content as the characters, but I think it's more likely that we'll see other villains. Maybe we'll see the Gotham City Sirens, maybe we'll see more Suicide Squad members that we get to play as. But I was thinking recently about how easily it would be to create more Batman content as story DLC for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, if I had to guess, I think that Batman is the most likely character to team up with the Suicide Squad in the game. In other words, I think that over the course of the story, he would be the most likely to become an ally to the members of the Suicide Squad that you're playing as in helping restore the Justice League. And it's going to be interesting to see how the story plays out. However, you look at the Arkham episodes of Arkham Knight, and maybe they'll make one for Batman in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Maybe we'll get to see an event a few years earlier where Batman had to take on the Suicide Squad in Gotham, and maybe they'll add the Bat family back in. Since the game is a multiplayer game that can play up to 4 people, maybe they'll add in Robin and Nightwing and Batgirl, and then the 4 of you can all run in and fight the Suicide Squad or something. That would be incredible story DLC that would sell remarkably well, if I had to guess. I just look at how refined the gameplay for Batman Arkham Knight was, and introducing him to this game's world and allowing him to sort of take on some of the mechanics introduced in this game could be very interesting. Seeing Batman as a playable character in Metropolis could be pretty interesting as well. Once again, I've always said that I feel like the reason that Superman is unlikely to be playable is just because if they could make a playable Superman, and assuming that they had the rights to do it, I think that they would probably be making a Superman or Justice League game as opposed to Suicide Squad. I guess that there is the other side of that, where the Suicide Squad and the brutality and fatalities that they can inflict with guns is a little bit more up Rocksteady's alley. It did seem like in Arkham Knight they were getting really interested in gunplay and more brutal combat and really exploring their free flow combat, and I think that the Suicide Squad is the perfect team to explore that further with. And listen, I understand that this is a super speculative video. We barely know anything about the base game itself, much less the DLC and what they're going to try to incorporate. But if any superhero is going to be playable in the game, I think Batman is the most likely, just because they already have such refined gameplay with him. In fact, honestly, Rocksteady, they had better have a boss fight with Batman. Obviously, we're going to have one with Superman, probably Flash, probably Wonder Woman. If we don't get a boss fight with Batman, I'm going to be a little bit upset, and it's going to just feel like such a wasted opportunity. I mean, imagine going up against the guy who you've been playing as for 4 games. That would be just, I can't even imagine how awesome that would be. But anyway, the point is that if any superhero is going to be playable, I think Batman is the most likely. I think that we can see other villains potentially come into the fray. I just feel like if more characters like Superman, the Flash, Wonder Woman were all going to be playable, then I think that they would probably be making a Justice League game instead of a Suicide Squad game. With Batman, on the other hand, just based on the Arkham brand name alone, they could sell some pretty heavy DLC with Batman starring in it, or if he comes back in the story in any major capacity, then I think that that's going to sell the game very well as well. So what I'm saying is that even though I don't see Rocksteady going back and doing another Batman game, I could definitely see them doing a pretty significant story DLC, maybe the length of Cold Cold Heart, so, maybe 2-3 hours or so, where they re-explore Batman maybe in a different environment, maybe with a different mission, maybe with his sidekicks helping him, and I'd be really interested to see what they could do. I would like to see Rocksteady do a little bit more Batman content, even if it's more of fan service than anything, just giving him a little bit of a send-off for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I think would be a really interesting way to go. And I'm honestly really excited to see what they do in the future. It seems like they're really expanding their DC Games universe, and it opens the door for so many potential games. But anyways, thanks you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below whether or not you think this is a very likely possibility, and we'll see you guys in the next one.